What's good, bro?
Hey, what up, bro? Yo, I can hear perfect. Can you hear me?
I do. You mind? Your screen's like vertical though.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, if you can, just so it looks. There you go. Perfect. Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Imprecisely. This is Jordan Valenzuela, and our next guest is, how do I describe this dude? He's like he's, well, to me, he's OG Hawaii hip hop. He's one of the pioneers for sure. Freaking, sorry, he's a rapper, producer, visual master, visual creator, father,
Oh man,
entrepreneur, big brother to me in and outside of music. And
just a guy. I'm
Bombs,
just a guy.
what's good, bro?
Thank you, man. Thank you for having. I'm so excited to be. This is my first time ever on a podcast. Like, I got homies that started a podcast like actually this year because of this whole quarantine thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't really started. Like, they haven't kicked it off yet. And then, since you did it, you're the first person I'm on it with, man.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm honored. Thank you for having
Hey
me.
man,
Yeah.
when I had like the urge to start this, I was like, guarantee one of the first three people I gotta get is Bombs. Like I have to. I just got to. Because what's funny is like
Nah.
for the people listening and the viewers, we haven't actually met in person.
Yeah, we were
Weird,
supposed
right?
to. I think like in 2018, we were supposed to have like lunch or something, but
Yeah. Like I
I
think
think that was the
multiple
only.
times.
Yeah, multiple times. Every time I go to, dude, this year I was gonna go to Hawaii for like at least 2 weeks because every time I go, it's always been like a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I never have time to see everybody, So next time for sure. I mean, this time I'm meeting you face to face like
Yeah.
this, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
no, for sure.
I feel like I know you like through music, so
No,
like
yeah,
we've done a lot of tracks
we
together,
have,
bro.
we have.
Like since like 2014, 2015, I think.
Yeah, I was still high school, bro. I think like maybe
Yeah.
2013. Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
I was gonna say that's so funny because like I feel like I feel like you're legit like my brother. Like we grew up together. At least my cousin. At least
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I know you, but and like we talk kind of regularly, and then that just it's
Mhm.
weird. We haven't met, and then you've been back home a few times, and we just schedules was off.
Hey,
But it
next time
doesn't.
for sure, bro.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
This is on the record right now,
Okay, cool. Yeah,
so next time for
when we
sure.
can do these in person, we'll do this over lunch, like in person for sure. I got you, man.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So
for
for
sure.
people who don't know, you are. If you don't know, well, you will now. Bombs is one of like the pioneers for Hawaii hip hop. Definitely to me personally. When I was like coming up and like living in Oahu, and then I just kind of discovered like, oh, there's people out here from this rock that we live on making music and
Yeah.
putting themselves out there. You were one of the first people I came across, and I think it was one of your biggest things. It's the hometown video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know that's gonna come out, right?
Yeah. Dude, a lot of people. I met a lot of people because of that song, and I'm forever for it. And I think it blew up because I released it like the same month that I moved from Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it left to Vegas, I released it, and then I made that song because I was moving, and I remember writing it in a bus, and like it was a long bus ride home, and I just started writing about Kalihi, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then the beat was given to me by someone. I don't even think they produced it, but they just gave it to me. Hey, yo, I think you could rap to this, and I was like, okay. But it was something in the folders where I didn't touch, but I was like, yo, this is hometown, and then I just want to write about Kalihi, and then it brought me a lot of like people, like friends, like either their listeners or like rap peers. But I'm so thankful for that song, man.
No, for
And
sure. Yeah.
I'm glad it brought me you because you're a great person, bro.
Thanks,
Like
man.
it brought me the best people, not just regular rap listeners. It brought me the best people. Like, yo, this song really got to me. Thank you for making this. And then the other guy who made like the Waipahu version,
Mm-hmm.
we're actually good friends too now.
Ken,
Yeah.
that dude, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, let me like rewind this a little bit. So like
Yeah.
I grew up coming up on like your songs and like okay, there's a dude out here like putting it on for Hawaii, and then my it's like a brother to me too. Travis, he's like family, goes to our church and everything. He's like I grew up
Yeah.
with him pretty much. He's good friends with Kenneth. Him and his
Yeah.
homie made the Waipahu version, and then I was like, yo, Bombs made the Kalihi version. kind of know him. I talked to him a little bit. And then Ken made the Waipahu version. And then I think this is around 20, I want to say 2010 when I first met Ken. And then like, it's a long story, but it's building up to it. Like I'm a big Ludacris fan, right? Because that's the era I grew up in, early 2000s. He had this song in his album Theater of Mind in 2008 called "I Do It for Hip Hop," featuring Nas and Jay-Z. And I was like, yo, the concept of it, like two dudes. I'm not saying you guys had beef, but the two dudes who actually had beef and they went at each other, and they're both kind of like kings in New York. And then Luda got him on Luda got him on one song, and then he stood with him. I was like, man, how trippy would that be? I know Bombs and I know Ken, and they're at the time their biggest things that they're known for is their hometown remixes. Yo, if I can get Bombs and his name was Kicks at the time, like his stage name was Kicks a Rhyme. If I can get both of them on a song, I would feel like, dude, check, like bucket list. And then I did. I got both of you on a song called For the Love, and then to that day, like because of like what I had in high school, like the mixing, everything wasn't the best. But everyone who knows that song, they always bring it up to me like, man, this is pretty, for me personally, and it's like, dude, this is monumental. Like, you got somebody who is popping, who's known because of their song that they based off Kalihi. And then likewise over here, what this person did with Waipahu, and you got them on the same track, and then the perspectives is all, it was like, dude, for me, when I made that, when I got green light from both of you, and then we did it, I was like, yo, like feather in this cap right here.
I was listening to a lot of your old songs, not just the ones with me and you, but like, because bro, like, okay, let me just say, like, kind of like a spoiler alert for people. I mean, I don't know when you're gonna release this, but bro, to everybody listening to this guy right here, Jordan, delivered one of the most like craziest verses on my album. And it's crazy because this album is like my masterpiece. I feel like it's my masterpiece, and this guy delivered. And I'm like, bro, I promise you delivered. And I'm like, it gives me chills just thinking about it. And I'm thinking like, yo, this guy came so far along, like from how you used to like rap before. Like, you were bad before, but then when I started, it just brought me back to your old videos, our tracks. Like, damn, man, like we've done a lot. You've done a lot of work.
I think like 5 or 6 at least.
Dude, and then you had that one song, I think you released this earlier this year with that dude from, I think it was New Zealand.
Oh, he's originally from Samoa, but then he moved here. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
John.
That was sick too. I was like, damn, bro, like this guy's killing. And then, bro, like, I'm just gonna say, like, yo, you're still young, and like, I hope you link up with more of the main heads there in Hawaii hip hop, because, I mean, after I release this album, I want everybody to hear you, like, bro, because at that one song, like, dude, you killed. And I just want to say, I added a bunch of other people there.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, without spoiling anything, is that third person who was supposed to get on? Did they come through?
Yeah, there's actually 2 more people.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
And I did I told this to Kyle already. I didn't go on that track because I wanted it to kind of like showcase my production skills, because I wanted it to show like how I can switch the beat to accommodate everybody else's flow, because that was my master plan, to add people that had different flows on that beat, and I just wanted to switch up the beat to mix with your guys' flows. It's so awesome, man. Like, with the way you come in, I'm like, oh, this boy killed, bro. Like, and you're the youngest one there, so I'm like, oh, bro, I'm so happy, bro.
I had to, man. Every time, like I get asked to be on songs and stuff and give people verses, and then when people like you ask me, dude, I like, it's like the world stops. I'm like, I got one goal, and then I just
you're like, Jordan, going mental, like, whew, you didn't even wind up. He just went in, like, whew. Man, I can't wait till you hear it.
I have to, honestly, I'm being completely honest right now. I think it's been a minute, so I have to go back and listen. I remember like the first couple lines of my verse.
No, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. It comes out.
Okay.
It comes out this Wednesday.
So you're not on it? You're not actually on it?
I'm not. I'm like on in the beginning. So I'm on the beginning. I'm like, well, I made it like it sounds like it's a like a house party, and they're like, "Yo, Bums, do you want to cipher outside?" But I'm like, "Yo, I'm kind of tipsy, but I got a beat though." So I play this
Oh,
beat,
no.
and you guys go in and shit. So it's dope, man. So I can't wait, bro. Like for you to hear it because I have a lot of listeners. I'm not like the biggest dude out there, but I'm pretty well known. So I always try to help the people that feel like that are super humble, you know, like
Yeah.
because I look at you and then I feel like you always ask questions. You never hesitated to lend a hand, or you never hesitated to ask me. Like, you know, you showed love to people that I feel like
Yeah.
I wasn't showed love as much as you did to me, you know? So I'm like, damn, man, like I hope you're more recognized after this, or like whatever I can do, I just want to shine on the
Right.
people that help me out.
No, that's real. Yeah. And that's something I always admired about you because, yeah, like when I like, I forgot like where I messaged you on was like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or even, I don't know. But I was like, uh, I had that notion like, oh, this guy's kind of out there. He's kind of known. I don't know if he's going to hit me back. And then boom, like next thing you know, we did like 5 tracks. I was like, I always held you in such a different light than a lot of other people. Not to compare,
Yeah,
but like because of yeah, people know who you are, your notoriety and your work ethic is unquestioned all the time. But like the fact
mhm.
that, dude, I had like no catalog for you to go off of yet, or even like, oh, what's this kid about? And you were just, you showed love from the beginning, and I'll always appreciate that. And because of you, I met and created not only like musical relationships, like doing songs with, but like friendships too, like with Kyle and stuff. And that's all because
Yeah,
of you. And man, even songs that you weren't on, like you've mixed vocals of mine, stuff like that. And I always I genuinely appreciate that, bro. That's why every time I hit you up and not even on some music stuff, just to check on you and the family and your new
yeah.
job and telling you I'm praying for you. That's all real, bro. Like I appreciate you a lot, man.
No, and I could feel that, bro. Like, cause you know and the great thing about you is that um you're a Christian, and then I grew up like that. You know, I was
Right.
a youth pastor for a while, but
Oh,
I
word?
never really, yeah, I was a youth pastor for a while. I wasn't really like the best youth pastor because we got into like some trouble after after
Right,
church.
right.
Like, you know, like nobody's perfect, but at the same time, you never judged me that way. You know, like
Yeah.
you really showed love. Like I'm different. Like the way I'm online, the way I'm in person is the same thing. So and so it's a little messy. Like I'm always like this goofball. At the same time, I'm a high tempered dude. But at the same time, I'm a family guy
Yeah.
and I'm a Christian, and I'm all of that at once. And I could see like I have good friends with every aspect of me. So and you're like the music and the spirituality, and you're just a real chill dude. You know, that's why I
Thank
kind
you,
of
man.
connected. I listened to you. Yo, this kid is dope. Like we could work. That's why I wanted to work with you. It wasn't on some like, nah, man, he's I don't know. Some people are like that though.
Yeah, like who is
Like,
this kid? Like they don't deserve to blah blah
yeah,
blah.
like,
I
dude,
feel
come
you.
on, bro. We
Like
not
who?
famous,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I know. And like for me, I
Like, I mean,
just
we're
no, go ahead.
no, go.
Oh, I was just mean like yeah, if I ever get to a point where I'm looked at where like I could help somebody, like if someone looks at me and they think I can help them,
Yeah,
I'm not so arrogant enough to forget like that was me before. Like I was the
yep,
dude who was just freestyling at lunch, and then the homies thought was good, and like, yo, why don't you make songs? And then finding beats, stealing them off YouTube, and then finding
yeah,
other people in your state, in your city who rap too and trying to collab and like, network and build, but then not knowing whether you should hit send because you might not even get a response, or the worst they could say is no. But I was like,
yeah,
I had nothing to lose. And then I was like, man, if I'm gonna ask somebody like kind of known and up there, I might as well go for the head and go ask bombs. And then I was
yeah,
like, yo, he hit me back. Dude, I won't forget. It's so ironic because like now, like my girlfriend now, like she lives in Kalihi. And she's
yeah,
like, her and her sisters are like, Kalihi thoroughbreds. And like
yeah. I
every
seen
time
that.
like and then every time like I'm there, like like get reminiscent pieces of your song, or like I remember I was in Kalihi when you sent me back your verse for Dedicated, my one song. I was in
Oh,
like Cam
nice.
Shopping Center. I think I was at like Jamba Juice. And then you're like, oh, check your email. And I was like, oh. I listened to it. I didn't even care. I forgot who I was with. I just played it out loud in the store. I was like, people were looking at me. I was like, sorry. It's kind of important. And I was just playing. I
Damn,
was like, dude, yeah. No,
that's awesome, man.
I'm serious, bro. Like I talk about you like I know you, like you're like my older cousin or
You,
something. Like oh, you know,
yeah, dude.
I did like 10 songs with the guy.
This guy.
Like, oh, do you know him? Oh no, but I heard him. He raps too. I was like, oh well, yeah. Just we did that song, this one, this one, this one.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm good. Just tell him I'm good in Kalihi, bro. Like,
Like I'm fine.
just mention, just name drop, bro. Like, nah, you're good, man. Like, that's the thing, bro. Like, it was kind of like for me, it was like that with IA.
Mm,
I remember when I was like around high school time, I used to ask people like through MySpace, like, "Yo, you want to collab?" But my quality was like really terrible. Like I used to just rap over like a computer microphone, and but then it was like people used to not take me serious because me and my friends used to make like joking songs, you know.
yeah.
But then I started to rap seriously, but still with the same mic. So nobody really cared for my quality, you know. So I
Mm,
used to ask like well-known guys back then, like I'm not gonna say names, but they used to ignore me, bro. Like, oh, okay. Then I asked IA, like, yo, um, big fan. I like your mixtapes because IA was like popping at that time. He used to like open up for big artists and stuff.
right.
And this dude like replied the same day, "Hey, yo, I heard about you, man, Kalihi boy. Yeah, let's I'm gonna put you on my mixtape." I was like, "Word!" And he put me on a song with him and Osna. I'm like,
Oh,
"Dude, okay." And I just had to go in and like, and then from then on, bro, I got invited to hit part of his performances. I met a lot of people, and then they found out that I was uh one of the guys that kind of like helped bring Pre up, and then they're like, I'm like, yo, and then I don't know. From then on, it was just like I became part of like connected with the main heads of Hawaii hip hop, and I was like, it's because of him, you know. Like he kind of like pulled me up, like, yo, yeah, you part of this train, so why not like, why not just jump on and we're all together, bro. Like
yeah.
I want people to see that, and he kind of showed me that, so I'll always do that to other artists
Hmm.
like that are hungry, you know.
Yeah, I feel
And
that. And got the talent. They got it. Like you're
yeah,
gonna
like the
represent well.
potential.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, you're
Because I feel
definitely
like,
up there for Mount
yeah,
Rushmore of Hawaii.
nah, man, there's a lot of, bro. It's
There
crazy
is
how much talent we have there.
it. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's just branching out, man. To like, it's hard because they see us. I know there's people that notice us and
Hmm.
stuff, but also it's a lot of the things that I feel that kind of stop us from reaching is the ego. I
Yeah.
feel like there's so much ego there, bro.
Yeah.
Like like we won't get anywhere if we act like we're already there, you
Yeah.
know?
Or act like
We're
we don't see each other. Like we got the same dream, dude.
exactly, bro.
Like
It's
unity,
hard,
if
man.
anything, would. Yeah. No, that's why I always I appreciate what you did, because it's like you didn't have to, you know. Like
Yeah.
you didn't even know me. I don't really have much to to show for what I was asking for, but you just kind of like you heard enough and then you took a chance, and then I was like, all right. So like, I'm not saying like if things were to come full circle and I get to a certain point, or if just in life in general, if anything, not even with music, like if I see somebody coming up and
Yeah.
it reminds me of shoes I was once in. Like we're
Hmm.
stronger, we get farther. Like I forgot how the quote goes, but like faster alone, farther together, or something like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
something like that.
Like yeah, I'm always like, as long as I got mine and I acknowledge it and don't forget like people who like paved the path for me, I'm always reach back and like whatever I can do. That's why I started this
Yeah.
thing too. Just to, because I don't feel like we're so like, yeah, the ego and the selfishness, like we all kind of have our own little groups and like our own followings and circles of
Yep.
people. So if we all just kind of network and help each other out, that's why I started this. I was like, man, all my homies who have small businesses, all my homies who make music, all my friends who can provide this service or do this, if I just start something like this where they can get it out and plug it in and then get more
Hmm.
eyes, more ears, even if it's 2 or 20, just helping each other. So that's why I was like, when I thought about the concept of why I'm doing this and like people who have done that for me outside of like family, of course, I was like, dude, I gotta get involved.
Yeah, dude. Like, that's awesome of you because podcasts are. I listen to a lot of podcasts nowadays, bro,
Same.
and a lot of people, they want to start podcasts because they feel like they could bring up all types of subject. I'm like, dude, go for it, please do it. Like I felt like I wanted to do a podcast too, but then I'm like, man, I have too much already on my plate. I don't want to just. But then I'm glad that you do it. You're actually doing this and I hope you continue because a lot of people like I feel like they kind of like just because we don't have time to do something. Like a lot of people, they lose the drive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to like do this with you, like because I want you to feel like, yo, he did this with me, so he believes in me. You know, I don't want it
and this
to.
ain't
I
the
don't
last
want
either, for sure.
exactly,
We can
bro.
do
Like,
this again, man.
yeah, please continue. We'll do this live for sure
Yeah,
next
for
time,
sure.
like together.
Yeah.
Because and then, bro, like, because you know, like, if you do something consistently, if it don't feel good the first few times, but you still want to do it, as long as you have that drive to want to do it, it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's same thing with music. Like I listen to my old songs right now, and they're so terrible, man. Like, but then if I didn't have that drive to like, you know, I just wanna keep making music, I wouldn't be as good as I am right now. Like,
Right.
and I'm
if
not
you
just
stopped.
yeah, bro. Like everybody can't stop. Like if you want to do something, just don't stop.
Yeah.
Like same thing with clothing lines or whatever. Just don't stop, bro. Like just keep grinding. You'll get somewhere. Like I'm nowhere up the top, but then you feel better that you came along, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Same that goes for everything. Martial arts, art, painting, whatever. Just keep going, man. Like you'll get better. So I hope you keep doing this because
for sure.
You'll one day you'll have probably like a, you know, like bigger, bro. You probably have like bigger guests to talk to. And again, do the same thing. You know, like how you like, don't hesitate to ask whoever to be your guest, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like because you're a good conversationalist, like you have something you don't stop, you don't pause, you don't look at like, okay, let me ask you this,
Right.
You know, just keep doing that, bro. Like you're actually articulate with everything you say.
Thanks, man.
No, for real.
I think that's where I kind of got because like growing up, I always played instruments, I always sang. And then like when I started listening to hip hop, this is before I knew I could rap. I would just like which is gonna bring me to my next like series of questions. Because I was just, you know, always singing, always playing instruments, which I still do and I still love, and it's never gonna stop either. Like I sing my own hooks on my songs and stuff, and then but yeah, when I realized I could rap, I think I was like when I was like in middle school and I realized like all these people like I grew up listening to, like that era, like, you know, like Eminem, T.I., Ludacris, The Game, 50 Cent, like that era, the early 2000s era, because that's when I grew up. Like when I started when I could recite their verses and rap along with them, I was like, oh, okay, I got the rhythm for it. And then like my forte was always like language arts. Like, dude, I can't do math to save my life. Like once they added letters,
I'm like, what is this?
I was a rap. Like, what is this AC? I thought math was like 2 and 4. And then
exactly.
Dude, once they added letters, I was out. But with like language arts and English, man, I could like wake up, not study, take a final, on like write an article, and I'll be good. So yeah, that's when I realized I could keep up with like the cadence and the rhythm and the flows of these people that I admire and I listen to. And like I bought hard copy CDs of and then I'm like, wait, if I just mix this with my
own words,
talent to like of writing, let me just try to write my own songs. So that's my story. How did you start? When did you realize like, oh, let me try to write a song. Oh, I'm good at this. Oh, let me keep doing it. What was that experience like for you?
It's kind of the same, bro. So I used to not care for rap at all, like when I was a kid, and then I heard the real Slim Shady on the radio, and it was just so funny, and I'm like, yo, this is so funny. And then that's when I became an Eminem fan, and then he released The Way I Am, and I heard all this other stuff in MTV. And then when I turned I think 13, I bought the Marshall Mathers. No. I bought the Eminem Show. Sorry. I bought the Eminem Show. That's my first CD I ever bought. I opened up the cover and
plastic.
And they have he always had the lyrics in it. And then I used to read along listening to a song. I'm like, yo, this is I think I could do this. So I did the same thing like you. Like I listened to a beat. I remember I downloaded the first beat I ever downloaded was the Wanksta beat
Oh,
on
dude,
Winamx. It's like
that's
LimeWire
cold.
but Winamx. Yeah, and then I was
Wanksta.
writing. Yeah, I wrote a rhyme, and I'm like, yo, I could do this. You just gotta hit the rhyming words at the end of the bar. And I didn't know what bars were back then. I just wrote, and then
Yeah.
I remember I recited it to my friends as a joke, and then they're like, yo, you're pretty good. So I kept going because of my friends saying, yo, you're pretty good, which I probably just because I could keep up with the beat. I didn't have no like swagger or anything. I just rapped.
Hmm.
So I didn't have no like style or anything. I just said the words to the beat. But because of my friends saying, "Oh, dude, you're pretty good. You can keep going." I kept going because they said you're pretty good. As long as there's people that tell you, "Yo, you're pretty good," even though you're not good.
Yeah.
That thing got embedded in my head. It's same thing with drawing, bro. I was tracing Goku when I was a little kid. I was 6 years old. I was tracing Goku, and then I
Which, by the
took
way, this
away the.
dude can draw, ladies and gentlemen. This dude does his own graphics. He's like the all-in-one package. Like, sorry, go ahead.
No, because I was same thing. I was tracing Goku, and I'm like, I don't want to trace. So I just put the actual drawing away, and I just started drawing my own Goku. And my neighbor, who's a good friend of mine, came along. He's like way older than me. He was like, Franz, you drew this? I was like, yeah. In Visayan, because I was still in the Philippines.
Hmm.
Like, you drew this? I was like, yeah. He's like, you're pretty good. Keep drawing. And just because he told me that, like I embedded it in my head, in my soul, like, oh, I'm pretty good at art. I started drawing every time, and then I got better and better and better. Same thing with rap, same thing with beats, whatever, man. As long as you started believing in yourself,
Hmm.
it could, bro, and being consistent with it, you'll be good at anything, bro. And that's how it became. Like I just grabbed my own lyrics because I read Eminem's lyrics to the beat. I'm like, man, I could do this, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't good, but at the same time, just keep being consistent with everything, bro.
Yeah, you know it's ironic. I feel like that's definitely needed. Like when people needing, if they're starting like a new venture or like a
Mhm.
new goal, encouragement is definitely like, especially from the people that you actually care about their opinion. But
Exactly.
I feel like too, what's also needed and sometimes overlooked is like the people who tell you, "Hey, bro, maybe not." You know what I mean? Like, or you sure about that one?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel
Yeah.
like no, man, like, cause I not that I've necessarily experienced it, but I've done it to myself, where I would like,
Yeah.
which like I'll for school I'll do something or like I'll write a song or I'll write a verse, and then I'll kind of like at first I'm trying to drink my own Kool-Aid and be like, yeah, this not gonna get better than this. And
Yeah.
then and then after I sit and think about it before I release this to the public, let me just and then I'm like, oh nah, maybe not. So like I feel like having yes men, that's like totally
Yeah.
that could totally take you like on a detour and like yeah, I just feel like it's a balance, you know? Because I don't
It's
not
great. It's great for um encouragement purposes.
mm-hmm. Oh, we lose you?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Oh, there you go. Gotcha.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You're good.
Okay. Okay. Can you see me?
Sorry. Yeah. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you
Okay,
better now.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So,
You kind of
sorry, what
cut
were you
off real
saying?
quick.
Yeah, my bad.
No, no. I think the last thing I was saying was
Like having yes
uh
men and like,
yeah, yes men is good for like encouragement purposes, but also like you gotta kind of like to anybody listening, if you do have yes men, kind of like remind them like, yo, if I suck or if I need work on something, please tell me,
yeah.
because that's what like a lot of my friends, um, we have this little crew like where we try to keep it real with each other, like they tell me like, yo, work on this. They don't rap, but they tell me, yo, work on this, work on your flow, work on this, blah blah blah. But at the same time, they're still encouraging. They don't encourage
Hmm.
me to stop. Like, yo, you suck, stop.
It's like
They tell me to work
constructive
on it.
criticism.
Be
Yeah.
constructive with your friend who's a singer, a rapper, or an artist. Like, you don't need to tell them to stop because they won't,
Yeah.
You don't want to tell nobody, yo, don't do this because you suck. Be constructive with whatever you're trying to tell them.
For
Yeah.
sure. I gotta ask you, man. Was there ever a time in your life where you were like, maybe I should, like, maybe I don't want to do this no more? Like, did you ever hit a point where, like, not because you lost the passion for making music, but where you felt like, I think I'm good on making music?
Nah, bro. Like,
Never?
nah, because never. Like, I tried to find a time, like, I could lie and say, yeah, bro, I felt like this time. No, I can't, bro. I can't ever think, like, every week I think about me. Every day, like, I gotta make something that's music related. Whether it be a beat, whether I just want to write some lyrics, but every day or every week there's something music related, and I don't ever think I'll stop, like
Yeah.
even if I'm old, like as long as I can take part in making music, whether it be just selling beats because I'm too old to look good in camera anymore or whatever. Like as long as I can take part in music, I feel like it's always going to be a part of my life. And this one time, um my wife, she kind of like, she got mad at me and she told me like, yo, you suck, you should stop doing that. And then that felt kind of like hurtful. I'm like,
Right.
damn, man, like this was like, I think like last year, but I remember when we were good, I talked to her like, you really think I should stop making music, like, because I'm getting old? She's like, no, like I said that because I was angry, like she said, you're better, you're a better person when you're happy, like, and happiness is when you're in your studio creating some loud music, or like some lyrics I can't ever understand, but as long as you're happy, and that's where it is, bro. Like, it's therapeutic, like it's good for my soul, even if I don't get the music out, even if there's like 250, 20 people that hear it, as long as I get to create, like I think I'm just born like that.
No, definitely.
And yeah, I just love it, bro.
Yeah, same.
Like
Because
I won't ever stop.
no, yeah, no, for sure. And I feel like, because I sometimes people ask like, oh man, when are you dropping something else? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's been a while. And then they ask if I still do it. And then in my head, I'm like, yeah, I just, like, I'm busy, bro. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got like, not that things would necessarily be priority over music in my life, but obviously, like bills
You
and
just got
school,
other
stuff
things
like
going
that.
on,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then, like, I think that those are the moments, when I like, when I just randomly pick a beat and I remix it and I try to shred that thing to bits and I upload it. It's after times where like, oh bro, when's something coming out? Or like if someone else dropped something and I was gonna do that beat, I'm like, oh, I get that little
Yeah.
like, or it's like, hey man, like, hey, when's the next time you I haven't heard from you in a minute. You still do it? I'm like, oh, do I still do it?
Oh,
It's like
okay.
that. You know what I mean? Hip hop, like it's regardless of what branch of hip hop you like listen
Yeah,
to or fall under, it's a there's a drive to it. There's like an aggression,
there
like a
is. Because it's a
competitiveness.
competitive, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
competitive type of genre of music. Like, you know how you say, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this beat." It's not like you're dissing the beat or dissing whoever didn't kill the beat.
hmm,
It's just that you just gotta like it. It fuels the person like, "Yo, he killed my beat. He
yeah,
killed my song." Like it's always gonna be like a competitive thing, which is a really good thing, and I hope it keeps doing that because
oh yeah,
that's how I always will see hip hop. Like it'll always be like a person doing better than whoever, but at the same time, it's a friendly competition.
yeah, for sure. And I feel like when, especially on collabs, like when people do that, it just, when it brings out the best in each other, it just makes for an overall better song. Like,
Yep.
like
Yep.
there's not a dull verse. Everybody came with it,
Yep.
and the whole thing just elevates like all together. Have you ever like
Exactly.
whether it's a beat or whether it's a verse you got from somebody else or your own, where after you listened to it and after you recorded or wrote it and you laid it down, you just sat back like, wow, did I write that? Like, did that happen to you? I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
not trying
bro.
to toot my own horn, but sometimes I'll be like, not necessarily when I write it, but after I listen to it, I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah. No, bro. A lot of times I'm like, yo, man, like a lot of times I listen to my old songs. I'm like, yo, I wrote that at that age. And
Right?
then and it's not like you're yeah, you're patting yourself in the back, but at the same time it's a good thing, like that's what also keeps me going. I'm like, yo, that's actually smart that I said
Hmm.
that. Like I could keep doing that. Maybe I can write something better, you know? Like it's not like tooting my own horn. It's like, yeah,
You gotta have
it could be
confidence
that.
in what you're
You
putting
gotta
out.
have
You know, your
exactly, yeah.
name's
Like,
on it.
bro, there's a lot of artists that are so talented. Like I won't name them because like they're my friends, but at the same time, they don't. I wish they would see how good they are and keep putting out music
Yeah.
because um I feel like they're kind of like taking away from what they could be giving to the world. Like, bro, like
Hmm.
there's so much talented cats out I know that should still be making music. I know everybody's got their own personal things going on and stuff, but I wish they had the drive that I do because like a lot of times like not everybody wants to hear one thing, like the same thing. I think the world needs to hear every type of talent, every type of
Yeah.
sound, you know. And I just wish they would keep going, bro. Like same thing with you, bro. Like I hope you don't ever stop whatever you're gonna do, like music, singing, because you're good at all that stuff. And then the podcast. I hope you keep going, man. Like,
Nah, for sure.
and you can freaking karate, bro. Damn, dog.
No,
Those
yeah, I
kicks,
think people.
dude.
Yeah, I just one of those people. Like, I'm just into a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
no, but yeah, what I was saying was like when it comes to the music and not stopping, I kind of can't because this is like one of my not escapes. Well, yeah, escape, but like I just need it. You know, it's like
Yep.
if it's especially we've been in quarantine, you learn real quick like what matters to you, what you're passionate about, what keeps you busy, what takes your mind off
Amen.
of
Hmm.
different kind of stuff. And like for me, like bro, if I didn't have like ability to write music, record, or like work out, or just family too, yo, I'd be losing my mind at home. I'd be
Yep, exactly.
like
But
for real.
I feel like the boredom kind of. I hope the boredom brings out a lot of this talent that we all have because there's a few like older guys too that I know. They hit me up like, "Yo, man, what do you think of this?" And it's like a new song they made, or I'm like, "Yo, you're back at it." He's like, "Yeah, man, lockdown has been boring,
Hmm.
so I just brought this back." So I hope a lot of people, because of this lockdown, kind of honed in their talents, and brought it back again because that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you could take this as a crazy year or a year of blessing because a lot of times people don't recognize their blessings that they have
Hmm.
even in this like uncertain year, bro. It's been a crazy year, not gonna lie.
We're just in a hyperbolic time chamber. You know what I mean? Like,
Basically,
if you
bro.
don't do nothing in
Basically.
there, then it's not gonna help you.
Yeah.
Like no, like getting back to what you said, like about the people not stopping and stuff. Like I always say, like like your talent, whatever it may be, whether you rap, you draw, whatever, that's your talent is like God's gift to you. What
Amen.
you
Yep.
do with it, that's like a gift back. Like, did He give it to you so you could just sit on the shelf kind of thing?
Hmm.
Or like did He give it to you because you're gonna use it? And I just feel like I'm not obligated, but like I just feel responsible. Like man, I I love what I do, whether it's like training, martial arts, fitness, music, like
Yep.
networking with people. I just feel like what a waste if I don't. Like like there's people
Exactly.
there's people who like if I like I got all the equipment I got at home. Now that we're in lockdown, the gym's closed. There's people who don't even like who are like losing their mind because they can't work out. So I have no excuse. Or there's somebody who maybe like their laptop got jacked last week and they lost all their songs and they can't make more. I got everything right here. What's my excuse to not? So it's like I have to. I always
Exactly.
gotta be like, yeah, I don't know. Like I just feel like God gave this to me, whatever it is, or He gave these to me.
Yeah, and he
What
gave
am I
you
doing not using them?
he'll always give you an outlet, bro. Like
Yeah.
he'll always you may not have it then, but then he'll give you something to make you want to make it. Like let's say like you don't have I don't have I used to not have nothing like when I first moved to Vegas, but I had the drive. Like I really wanted to make more music. So I bought more equipment and then I reached out to somebody who actually came from Hawaii, moved here also, and I asked him, "Yo, can you help me make? Can you teach me how to make beats? Just the basics."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, bro. I live literally. He told me he told me his address, and I looked it up on my GPS. He literally lived across the street, and I'm like, dude. So I feel like God will always provide,
Yeah,
bro. Like he'll always want you to spread your talent. Like even if you don't have anything, he'll give you a way to get to that what you need. You know,
oh, for sure.
like just because that's what your talent is there for. Like it's a gift, like you said.
Yeah.
It has to be gifted to the world as well.
Mm-hmm. Like, what if he's not directly like sometimes I don't think I'm necessarily anybody either, but like I've had YouTube comments or people comment on songs and like it just totally like changed their day or their mood or they're going through
Yep,
something,
yep.
and I'm like, yo, I wasn't even trying to like I'm glad, but that
Do
was
that,
for
yeah,
me. That was for
yep.
me. The fact that God used what I went through and wrote down and recorded to hit you,
Hmm.
hey, that was
That's what
unintentional, blessing. Like
that's
cool,
what
like
music is, man. Like it's crazy because music really alters energy, um, negatively, positively, and like I could hear a song that I heard like at a time when it was I was at my darkest point, but
mm-hmm,
but hearing that song, it won't hurt me. I'll just feel the pain, but at the same time, it'll bring me to the state I am at that moment and say, yo, I really got out of there.
yeah,
Like, thank you, Lord, like because and that's why I feel like music is a gift from him.
mm-hmm,
And that's how we have to kind of like reciprocate our energy, our talents to everybody so they can hear it. You just reciprocating energy all around, man. Like I feel like music connects us all. Like food, bro. All types of food, I love it. And
sorry,
then I feel like
no, sorry, go ahead.
no. Well, on
Oh,
a
I was
scale
gonna
of
say
what?
on a side note, can I just say I appreciate how we both like have Laker gear on right now.
That's I've been wanting to say that, bro. Like
Yeah,
I didn't.
I had to
It
get
was
it out. It
not
was like
planned. It was not
it
planned.
was
I was
not,
just wearing this all day, and I was
and they won
eating at
today,
a yeah, bro. I
dude,
was eating at a far restaurant, and then the game was on, and then everybody was quiet, just looking what's gonna happen. Boom,
bro. Anthony
AD.
Davis, he's
I was like,
clutch, bro.
oh, I was
No,
so
yeah,
loud,
when it
bro.
happened, I just like three houses just, dude, that was crazy,
Bro,
man. This year's been so nuts.
after the Jordan era, bro, my dad became such a Kobe fan, Kobe and Shaq fan.
Hmm.
So every time the Lakers win, it just reminds me of my dad. Like, and my dad is so old now, but he's in the Philippines. But I always let him know. I always message my mom on Facebook, yo, Ma, did you guys see the game? If not, then
Hmm.
LeBron and the Lakers won, da da da.
Right.
But yeah, like it's crazy, like because it's been like I said, it's been a crazy year, but a lot of these little wins kind of still bring us together. Like
Oh yeah.
these
Like through
little just
sports. I'm glad sports started up
sports.
again, man.
I know, dude. Like, cause it was getting kind of like so dark. I'm like, what's gonna happen?
I know. So
Like,
when
dude,
UFC started, I was like, okay, we have hope. And then the NBA came
yeah,
back. I was like, okay, we're good. We're good.
yeah, we're good. And it's crazy because it's like the hype is still there.
Hmm.
Like, it's not like there's no crowd or anything, but like it's still like so exciting.
Yeah.
And same thing
Also,
with football.
your parents, they live in PI.
Yeah, they live in Davao City.
Oh, me. Yeah,
So
like
yeah, they moved there 2012. Yeah.
from here.
Yeah, from Hawaii. So they
Wow.
retired.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. COVID messed up. I was supposed to go to the Philippines. I was supposed to go to Arizona this year. I had like two trips and then just, but
No, man.
it did help out because I had like a final that I had to do in person in spring semester that I knew I wasn't gonna pass. But because of COVID, I was able to take it at home and have like Google open in another tab. And I passed that thing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. That's great, dude. Like, see, everything happens for a reason. Like, everything happens for a reason. I mean, it sucks because I was supposed to be in the Philippines this year too.
Mhm.
At the same time, like we never try to take it as a loss. We just kind of like pick up from where we are.
Yeah.
I lost my job. At the same time, I got a new job and I love it. And I don't know. It's,
Oh, you
I
drive
don't know,
for
man. Like,
FedEx right now?
yeah,
Yeah,
I drive
congrats,
for
dude.
FedEx, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks.
How,
For
No, I was gonna say because since I've been in quarantine, dude, I have packages from Amazon arriving like every Friday. So like how how how's that
Fair,
been?
fair.
Like, do you ever like have you ever like messed up
It's
or like the day was so
yeah.
long, so many deliveries?
It's not an easy job where it's not it's an easy job like because you it's a routine job,
Right.
but it's like physically demanding work because it's a lot of like carrying
Yeah, yeah.
boxes and stuff. But like once you get it down, the thing with me is I learn fast. So once I got like my route down, it's easy. Like all I have
Hmm.
to do is just drive to addresses, like basically almost the same addresses every day, and I just drop off boxes.
Oh, nice.
That's it, bro. So but
No, but I can
but like
imagine the physical aspect. Like, someone orders
exactly
like a
exactly
someone orders a washing machine or something.
yeah, bro. That's the things I hate. The craziest thing I've ever delivered was like a king size bed in to the third floor of an apartment,
You
and
guys
I
gotta
was
bring
like,
it up,
I had to bring it up. I'm like, how am I
but you're
gonna
not
do this?
alone, right?
No, I was alone.
What?
I drive my truck alone, bro.
No, but they expect you to deliver a king size bed to a third floor by yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so what you do is you flip it like, poof, and then
Oh,
and I felt like I was gonna die because, bro, like if you watch my stories, all I do is cardio, bro.
yeah. Jeez.
And I'm like,
Dang.
oh, I should have lifted more. Like, bro, it was terrible. So what I did was just flip it all the way to because, bro, when beds are delivered, they're like folded. They're
Yeah.
like rolled into like a one
Oh,
heavy
like a
piece.
lumpia, like a nice
Yeah, bro,
bed lumpia.
and it's heavy as heck. Like,
And then you got the
so
frame.
no, I just delivered the bed, not the
Oh, okay,
frame.
okay,
So thank God,
okay.
I think I would have died. But like that was the heaviest thing I ever delivered ever. So nowadays, they told me that you can actually leave the heavy stuff for the bulk driver,
Mm.
and I'm like, wow, you guys tell me that, huh? And they're just laughing like, nah, we just wanted to test you. I was like,
That's
oh,
messed
okay.
up. That's messed up.
Yeah,
Those are
but it's all
fighting
good,
words
man.
right there. You guys have.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
I wanted to ask. I remember seeing on Instagram a while ago. Like you, your wife, and a bunch of people. You guys help build like homes for somebody, like in your church or something.
Oh,
Like you
yeah. So that
literally
was
built a house.
so in 2018, my church before COVID, they every year they go to Mexico and they build homes for people who are homeless or they live in like really bad situations.
Yeah.
So me and my wife decided to she actually did that first with my girls with our daughters. So and I'm like, and they're like, she came back and she said, love, it's such an amazing experience, you really gotta go. I'm like, okay, let's go. So what we did was what we do is basically we drive to Mexico, and there's a program that we go do it with. So I think it's called Homes for Hope. I'm sorry if it's wrong, but there's families who sign up for it um in Mexico that are like living in like, bro, like shacks, and they have like
Mm,
3 kids, and
jeez.
it's crazy. It's sad. Once we get there, we actually build a house in like 2 days, just
Wow.
like a house for like one room, one dining room, and we actually donate or pay for like their washing machine or like food for like the whole first month. But we actually build a nice house for them in a nice land. And bro, I remember at the end of that trip, like I'll never forget the hug that I got from the father of the family, because like it must take a lot, like because you're the father and you're supposed to
Yeah.
provide, but at the
Right.
same time he works, but they don't pay enough in Mexico. And I remember just giving him a hug, and I was like tearing up because like he really wants the best for his family, and us doing that for them, it's not because we want to feel good, it's because we want to help people succeed in life. We want to help them and their kids like start somewhere where they can keep going. And of course it makes us feel good knowing that we did that, but it's we're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Like we're also there to like let them know that we're here because God called us and want us to help you, so that you can take these kids, put them in a nice school. They can go home to an actual home, have actual, like, an actual bed. They didn't have no beds, man. And I want my kids saw that firsthand, and it just kind of shows them too, like, yo, see how blessed you are.
Yeah.
You see how good you have it, and it kind of just showed them, like, they don't complain much because they know how well they have it. And
Well,
yeah, that was an awesome trip, man. It's one of those mission trips that we have for our church, and
is that
I'm
like
sure you guys do
a
stuff
regular
like that.
thing, like yearly?
Yeah, it's every year except this year we haven't
Oh
we
yeah, yeah.
haven't gone. Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's awesome. No,
yeah,
yeah, I
we
remember
also
seeing that and then thinking, wow, that's really awesome and respectable. And then it reminded me, like what you're saying just now. I just kind of got reminded of the first song I was on of yours, the Behind Us. You remember that record where like we
yeah,
gave the so for the people who haven't heard it yet, I'll probably like drop it down below. I did a song on one of Bomb's mixtapes. I think it was Kill
Kill
Streak
Streak
Four,
three,
three,
four,
four,
yeah, one of those.
one with the
Four.
Decepticon looking thing. The
I
artwork
think
was
it's
like a
four.
transformer. Yeah, yeah. And then
That's four.
so
Yeah.
Bombs was like, "Yo, man, I need just like your perspective on what it's like growing up being Filipino American." And so
Yep.
your verse was like well put together. Just speaking about moving here and then how your father was treated, with
Yep.
the language barriers. And then mine, like I can't even front, like I grew up like we weren't like rich or nothing, but
Oh yeah,
I was
you
taken
talked about
care
your
of,
family in
and
the Philippines, right?
yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
like we weren't rich or nothing, but we weren't poor either. Like we were like
Mm-hmm.
middle class, and then but my parents always provided. And then I had been to Philippines 3 times before I was like 12, and then I went again in 2012 when I was older, and then like just going and experiencing it at an older age where things really like register.
Yeah.
I was like, man, wow, like because like where my dad's from in Pangasinan, Binangonan, he would have like there's a in the barrio there'd be like a house, literally like bricks and tarp with clips as the roof.
Yeah.
And then like literally the next house, just because we have family here who sends money up, there's like a 3-story building. They got AC and
That's
Wi-Fi, like
crazy.
right next door. It's so crazy. And then like yeah, just seeing that kind of stuff, and then like because we went there for a mission trip also. They had like the Church of the Nazarene there. They had like a week long kind of like a camp meeting. So just services every night
Mm-hmm.
with different speakers every night. Or it was my dad who spoke a couple of times in our church. They asked our church band. They flew us out so that we could lead the worship, do the music for the whole
Yeah.
time. So it was like a concert every night that we were a part of. And then so we had a lot of our people in our church band here who haven't been there before. So we flew them
Mm-hmm.
out, and then they were just tripping out, man. Like the kids in a diaper playing soccer, barefoot with a water
Yep.
bottle, running up on the
Yep.
windows asking for money, and just going at an older age was really important for me because, like, you go back home and people complain about first world problems, like can't catch Wi-Fi
Yeah.
right now, or
Yep.
my videos uploading a little slow. You know what I'm saying? And then just
Yep.
what you were saying just now about helping out that family in Mexico, it kind of just reminded me of that song that we did, and then the perspective that we both gave. And it's like, yeah, everything ties together. Like we're just helping out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
cause like,
Because
yeah,
because
yeah.
we see the good side of, like right now we're in America. We actually see, like, we're not in the best spot, but we're at a better spot. Um, when bro, like when my wife came with me to the Philippines in 2014, um, same thing, man. Like my family lives in a nice house over there because we built it.
Mm-hmm.
They got some money from here, but literally we went to I told her, oh, let's go to a birthday party. She said okay. So it was one of my sister's friends uh, kids birthday party, and we went to it was literally like the next block, but it was like a forest, and there was a bunch
Yeah.
of huts, like little huts there. And then we went in there, and then my wife came with me, and she said, what is this place? And it's like, oh, this is where they live. And then she was just standing there, and then we were in a little hut, and they were like singing happy birthday, all laughing, all eating cake and enjoying themselves. And then my wife went outside of the hut, and then she went outside, and I'm like, where are you going? And then I followed her, and she was like crying. I'm like, why are you crying? And she's like, oh, they're so happy. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, this is all they have, and they're so happy. And I'm like, yeah, this is how it is in the Philippines, you know.
Yeah.
Like they don't have much, but they have each other, and it kind of like sat her down, like, you know, like, because she grew up pretty, you know, like in a good spot, like with her family
Is
and
she from
stuff.
Kalihi too?
No, she's from Maya, bro.
Oh.
So she grew up well. She grew up well.
Right. Pro
But
Ridge is right there.
yeah, she was really like humbled, like in a really good way. Like she says she saw that, like people just being happy with what they have, and it kind of like when we went back to Vegas, you know, like bro, from then on, we haven't really argued about money. Like we always found ways to resolve our financial problems. From then on, like after we came back from the trip from the Philippines, like we we don't ever argue about like financial problems anymore because she because we just figure it out. Like we're not
Yeah.
supposed to be going against each other. Like why would we fight when we actually supposed to find the solution together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we do now. Like if you
That's
run into
awesome.
like a roadblock, we just talk about it. And
That's awesome.
I'm just so I'm just blessed to have her, like, because you know she's more than an angel, bro. Like she helps me with everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you have, and she turned her life to God, and that's what
That's
one of
awesome,
the
dude.
awesome thing. Yeah, bro, it's awesome, bro. One day we'll have like a double date when we
Yeah,
go
for
there.
sure.
I promise you that,
Yo,
bro.
I'm
I
telling you,
promise you
man,
that.
my girlfriend and her sisters, they're like, yeah, like pure breed, thoroughbred Kalihi girls, bro. Like,
Oh, hey, be careful then. Be
like it's in their
careful.
blood, dog. Like they no, like they're the nicest, most down to earth Christian, like,
Yep,
character like represents Christ. But yeah,
that's awesome.
but yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're Kalihi girls. Like before that's where I was watching the game at our house in Kalihi. Dude, like
Okay.
before I came here, and then when AD hit the shots, what happened? Like, dude, like 10 houses just like exploding. Uh, Not to switch
Yeah.
gears on you real quick. I just gonna just
Nah.
to being hip hop nerd. Just I want to get back. Like,
Yeah,
do you have a
of
list
course.
of your top 10 MCs? Just I want to pick your. But I know. Let's just do this. I know Eminem's like your. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
of course.
And then like
Yeah.
regardless, people should always have Pac and Biggie anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say excluding Pac, and Biggie. If you can't
Okay.
do 10, I'll take 7.
I I can do 10, bro.
Okay, cool.
My top 10, excluding those three, would be Lloyd Banks, uh, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent. Uh, that's three, right?
Yeah.
I would say Joe Budden. I would say Chameleonaire.
Hey, people forget about
Yeah,
Cam, bro.
yeah. People forget, bro. People forget. But okay, so 5. I always get this mixed up because there's a lot. I would say Nas
Mm.
and Ti. 7. So I got 3 more. I wrote this down like literally like
Oh, did you?
2 weeks ago. I did. So I got Nas, Ti, Most Def. I love Most Def.
Mm.
Method Man, and my 10th would be Drake.
You gotta
I
respect
love
him. You
Drake.
gotta
I
respect him.
love Drake. Yeah,
I've
we gotta
never.
respect
You
him.
gotta respect him, whether you like him or hate him. You just
Yeah,
have to.
bro.
I'm
I
glad you
kind
mentioned
of like,
Chameleonaire.
yeah, bro. I love Chameleonaire, bro. Like there was a time where it was just all Chameleonaire for me. Like from 2005 to like 2007,
Mm-hmm.
I bought his albums, and I'm like, bro, this guy's the truth. And then
Yeah.
he disappeared, and then I found out what he was doing. Like this dude actually has investments, and he's like rich.
Yeah.
And I even respect him more. I'm like, you know, he quit while he was ahead, and
I
he
think he still
invested his
drops
money.
once in a while, like little mixtapes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because he has like a website where his fans can just buy his stuff, and it's smart, you
Yeah.
know, because he has a huge following. So yeah, people forget about Chameleonaire, bro.
They
But
do,
yeah,
man. I mean,
how about
besides the
you?
obvious, oh me, jeez,
What about you, bro? Come on,
excluding those 3,
excluding those 3.
excluding Eminem, Tupac, Biggie.
Yep.
Yeah. So before I get to that, because I feel people have asked me that before, and then like the cliche thing is, oh, you gotta have Pac and Biggie, but like to be real, like they should already be on your list. But like me, I was born in '96. Pac died in '96. There's no way I
Yeah,
could have.
yeah, yeah.
There's no way. Like I see so many people in interviews and stuff fronting. Like there's no way you could have. He could have been your
Yeah, you're
favorite.
young,
You
bro.
you were
You're
you
young.
bro. We were born when he died. Like for me, the reason I acknowledge it is because like when I grew up, I went back and did my homework on
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
NWA and
ask. That's what I was gonna ask. I'm like, you're like way younger than me, like, and you're really into like Ti,
yeah, yeah.
50. And I'm like, you should be listening to like the new
Nah,
guys
bro.
still.
No
That's
ways,
what.
bro.
That's why I love about you, bro. Like, cause you actually
I'm an
listen
old
to the
head.
older stuff. Yeah,
I have an old soul.
exactly. I love that. I love that,
Everything
bro.
like with movies, music, just how to how to carry yourself, cars. I'm old. I have an old soul. No, but yeah.
That's what's up.
Um, Shoot. No, I mean for those people, it made sense because I was born in the '90s, so I grew up late '90s, early 2000s. So
Hmm.
that era. So like for me, not including Pac, Biggie, Eminem, in no specific order, Nas, Andre 3000.
Oof.
Uh, I love Busta
Yeah.
Rhymes. Oh, dude, I might go past 10. Ludacris, Ti, 50. I'm not even gonna do the modern era because I got people from that. But
Yeah, yeah.
jeez,
Me too, bro.
Ice Cube, J Cole, Kendrick.
Bro, let me
Jeez.
stop you real quick. I was gonna put J. Cole and Kendrick, but then I didn't know if you were kind of like
Oh, so
looking for like
are we
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
modern or like
But
all time?
like I gotta fit them in somewhere there. But yeah,
Yeah.
J. Cole and Kendrick too. Okay, okay. Keep going. You got like a couple more.
Oh, jeez. The game, that whole era when like
Ooh,
yeah.
yup.
And just energy wise, DMX.
Ooh,
Oh, and how could
dang.
I can't believe I left out Tech Nine.
Tech
Yeah.
Nine. That's crazy.
Yeah, see,
I
now if
could.
you ask me like nowadays, I would say like J. Cole's song, the whole point of Middle Child was, he's the generation bridge.
Dude,
So
that's how
if
I
you
feel.
like you're the
That's how I
old
feel.
like you're the youngest old cat, but like you're the oldest young guy.
Yeah, for real, bro. Like I
Yeah, so if
feel
I'm
like the
doing
middle
modern
child.
era, it gotta be like if we're including that era as modern era, like J. Cole, Kendrick. I
Yeah.
love Joyner.
Oof.
Um, Jeez.
I know you like Logic.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, like I think that's why I because that's like imitation. They say is like the highest form of flattery. So like
True,
I
true,
try to
true.
I try to like when I get into that state where I'm flowing like that, it's because I grew up listening to Busta and like Ludacris and like Eminem.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy. Yeah.
So like when I
That's why
was
you can speed up, bro.
yeah, that's why when I was realizing like when their songs would come on and I run through that Luda verse or that Eminem verse, I'm like, yo, I can rap fast. Now
Yeah.
let me try let's like do my own like that's where it came from.
Yeah, because you turn it on anytime. Like I noticed that. Like a lot of times, like you could be just flowing like regular BPM and then boom, you're on the same beat by the same time you're and I'm like for me like honestly I could do that too but at the same time it's you do it like effortlessly and
Thanks, man.
bro no joke it's like you and Kyle you guys can do it like easy I'm like okay damn.
My whole point though, my and Tech Nine said this in an interview, like yeah, like dude, we're hip hop nerds over here. Like my whole point with it though is like because everybody tries to do it, but like my whole point is speed with clarity. Because there's no look, if you're just running through if you're just running through it and I don't know what you said or
Yep,
I can't catch like the last 5 words, you might as well have just
yep,
done a basic blah blah blah.
real talk,
Like
yep,
if I respect you so much if you can like chop it up and I heard everything you said or
yeah,
for the most part like 90% of what you said, then I'm like, oh dude, like that's when you got my respect, like for people who try to be choppers, like oh dude, that was dope. I heard everything you said.
yep, bro. I gotta like since this is going on my order has to have Yellow Wolf in it too.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
sorry. Like Yellow Wolf is like one of my favorites. Like I have a box of his whiskey, like signed by him,
Dude,
because bro, he's like one of my heroes.
you
Like
met him, right?
I met him. I met him the
Dude.
day Nipsey got killed, which is
Oh no way.
unfortunate. Like it's a bittersweet thing for me. But I met him. But bro, like his song with Best Friend, when they're talking about like
Oh
God,
yeah, yeah.
bro, gives me chills to this day. Like it's crazy because that's how I feel. Like he says a line where he says like um I walk through hell almost every night, but I believe it's a pathway. I'm like, damn, that's so
Yeah.
hard, bro. Because that's what we gotta do. We gotta get through hell sometimes,
Yeah.
bro.
I
But like,
love
yeah,
Yellow Wolf,
he's
man.
dude. Like he has a. I think he's on Worldwide Choppers 3. I think
No,
with
he's
Tech
on
Nine
the
and them.
because there's Midwest choppers, and I think he's on Worldwide choppers with like Twista and Busta and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And I just love how he has this his own voice.
And he said like I think in Worldwide choppers, dude, I can do his verse. He's like, oh, you hit something like you hit every bump of something like you feel every bump like you had dreadlocks or something. I was like, oh, I don't know, dude's crazy.
Yeah.
But like no, but yeah, like I'm best friend too. M's verse was like it's cool that
Whew.
it brought he got that side out of M because like M will like drop subtle hints like he's a believer or he has some kind of faith in something above.
Yeah.
He'll acknowledge it just but in Down especially I was like oh wow he really put it out there like M believes in something. I like
That's
that
what I. That's what I.
like
That's what
a
I
shiggity
loved it
shot.
because yeah, he's like I'm the Iggy Pop of hip hop. I'm like,
Yeah, I
bro,
was
it
like,
gives me chills
ooh.
till this day. I'm like, and then I remember in an interview, Yellow Wolf was like, yeah, like I just wanted M, because that album Love Story is
Mhm.
so good, like so dope. And he said, yeah, I just wanted M to be the only feature in that, and it was on that song. And I'm like, yo, that is so monumental, man. Like,
Yeah,
'cause that song gives me chills to this day, because it's kind of like how I am. Like, I believe in God and Jesus so much, but at the same time, I have this hard side. But I feel like I shouldn't be judged. Like
hmm
the church that I go to, is called the Crossing. They have this. We went to this church because we passed by this building one time, and it right on the building, bro, huge letters. It just says "Come as you are," and I'm like, dang, is this a church? It has a cross too. I looked it up. I was like, yo, let's go to this church. I told my wife, let's go to this church. It was on Christmas Day. We went there and we never left. Like, yo, like we belong here. Their message is whoever you are, whatever past you had, come as you are. Like Jesus
that's how it's
accepts
supposed
you.
to be.
Exactly,
Like
bro. Exactly.
for me, I have so many friends who they know me as like the because growing up as a pastor's kid and grandkid, and you put in a box, right? People think they know I'm supposed to be this angel sent boy, act a
Mm-hmm.
certain way. So when I do something that's unacceptable, or like I get in a fight, or I go run up to somebody at the mall and call them out in front of their parents,
Yeah.
stuff like that, which I may
Hey,
or may
chill,
not have done
savage.
before, stuff like that, like or just even like my attitude towards something, just or like
Mm-hmm.
how I say something, like it's automatically
Or you
like
rap.
yeah, so like it's
Yeah.
automatic judgment. But then so that's why I feel I can connect to these my friends who are like they always talk to me like man like I want to go to church. I'm going through some stuff. I grew up going. My parents brought me. I kind of stopped, but I just feel so judged. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that's the total opposite. Like they got the perception backwards. Like just because we're in church, I always tell them like it doesn't mean we're perfect. We're here actually because we're
Yep.
broken. Like
Exactly.
like don't have this notion like because I go to church and you're struggling with your own demons that I don't got none, and that I'm better than you. Bro, I'm
That's
just as
amazing.
that's why I need this. That's why I go
Yeah.
because I need it too. And like
Yep.
if like we're just like the ambulance. Like God, like church is the hospital, God's the doctor. We're just the ambulance. And we
Good
because
analogy.
yeah, and we know what it's like too because we don't. If you had the cure to some kind of sickness, you've been sick yourself. Why would you want to
Yep.
not share that? So I always tell people, man, like, dude, like my dad, who's a pastor, and his brothers, they weren't like they grew up when they first moved here from Philippines. They lived in Kalihi, and then while he was like they weren't angels their whole lives. Trust me,
Yeah.
they got into some stuff, and then like
Especially back then. Yep.
oh yeah, dude, this is like 70s, 80s. Like they tell me and then they tell me stories. I'm like, ooh. And then
Dark
yeah, like
times.
bro, like nobody here is perfect, and then like we're here because we acknowledge that you might see me as strong. That's because I've been weak. You know, you might see me as I have it all together. That's because it's been a mess and I'm trying to have it together. You know, so I always tell
Amen.
people that like they have the wrong. But I understand why they intimidated too. I feel like sometimes people just kind of go about it wrong and they shove it in their face, which is completely wrong. So when people ask me
Yeah.
about it because they know who I am and my background and where I come from, I try to do it in the most relatable, subtle, like, bro, like I've done numerous things I'm not proud of, and I'm like the pastor's kid for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So
Amen.
there's no judgment here, man. Like I'm like, you know, I grew up the regular teen like you, and yeah, and like
Hmm.
there's people in our church, bro, like what you're talking about, like that confliction you feel, like they're yatted from the neck down. They've been to jail
Yep.
or, you know, gang affiliations or whatever, and like not necessarily my church, but I know people who go to church, and they're like the
Yep.
nicest people. They're now where they're at in their lives, they represent Christ well, and it's like I
Same,
don't
bro.
know.
Like, say this is the same thing with me and my brother. Like, we grew up in Kalihi. We're kind of like notorious there, but at the same time, we grew up in church. We kind of strayed because of the environment we were in, and a lot of people a lot of people that know us personally, they respect us because we still attended church even through all the drama that we had to face, all the, we did a lot of bad things in life, but we still tried our best to be, Christian
Hmm.
boys. The sad thing is that a lot of my family, my own family, like in the Philippines, they kind of like, it's always your own people, bro. Like they kind
Yeah.
of looked at us. They kind of looked at us like, nah, they're the bad sheep of the family, But at the same time, like, yo, how can you guys? I don't hate them for that. But at the same time, how could you guys be like church people? Like they have their own churches and everything. Like, how could you guys not gonna open your arms to us because we
Yeah.
had a past? Like that's not. Yo, Jesus had around him people that weren't perfect.
Hmm.
His disciples weren't perfect people. So how could you exclude us, like how how they shouldn't have been excluded? So
And
it's
like J.
crazy,
Cole
man.
said, yeah, like J. Cole said, every saint got a past, every sinner got a future. No,
Yup.
I read something the other day on Instagram. It was like, you know, how that the phrase that is used very loosely is like, oh, only God can judge me. Or like, you don't know me, only God can judge me, which is true. I feel like it's gotten to a point where people use it as an excuse to like
Yeah.
act tight. And I'm like, bro, like if you think about it, like for you to acknowledge that you acting like this, carrying yourself this way, and only God can judge you, that should scare you. That God's
Yeah.
gonna that God's gonna judge you. Like you rather have me judge you than God judge you
Yeah.
because He can do something about
Exactly.
it.
I
So
see.
I
I
feel
seen
like,
that. I seen that exact saying, but like, there's a meme where God's picture. He's like,
yeah,
like that. They're like, yeah.
yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I was like, yep, that's exactly, like, you can't keep saying that, bro. Like, it's, I love this thing where she was my coworker before. Um, she told me that she shared this. I'm sure you heard it too. Like, it's a saying where it goes, I rather believe in God now than die to find out there isn't one,
Hmm.
than not believe him and die to
And
find
there
out
is,
there is one. Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm like, that is exactly,
yeah,
like, why would you want to live your life not believing in something? Like,
hmm,
bro, there's just a lot of people here that use the non-belief thing so they can be freely doing whatever
yeah.
they can.
Because for
Like,
me, like I physically can't prove that he's up there. Like I can't go up there and ask him to come down. But like I can say I believe he's real because of like what I experienced in my life, what he's done for me. But just like what you said, like man, I rather believe that there is something,
yep.
and then if there's nothing at the end, cool. I lived a good life. I lived a noble life. I was a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than I don't believe and then oh judgment day it's real. Because what do you have to
Yep.
lose by believing? Nothing. Like
Nothing at
using
all.
that logic, having like a belief that there is and then there might not be, or not believing and there is, you don't have anything to lose. You just lived a good
Amen.
life being a respectable person. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Amen.
someone always trying to be better. So, and like I see that in you, man. Like I always tell people when I talk about you, Like, yo, he does all of this. His grind is steady. Like, he's always dropping a visual, a drawing, a song, a video, something. He got a collab where he's doing beats for other people. He's always like, he's not ever doing nothing. And he does this
Thank
like
you, bro.
multiple jobs, and he has kids, he got his wife, and he's like, you know, I always respect that because, dude, that takes a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, like your verse on that song For the Love, like you hit a point where you can't do it for the love because you got mouths to feed. And then like
Yes, exactly.
yeah, so it's like
I
I
wanted to
respect
write
your
it like
hustle,
that
bro.
because like I remember writing it. I
Oh,
remember I
sorry,
wrote a
I'm just
different verse.
give a quick history real quick for the people who haven't heard it yet. So
Yeah,
the song I did, or I mentioned where I got him and Ken, it's called For the Love. It's talking about like doing what, like making music because we love it. Like
yeah,
from
yeah.
my perspective was like, yo, I don't care if 2 people hear this or 200 people hear this. If I feel like God's telling me to say this, whoever needs to hear it will hear it, and that's why I do it.
Exactly.
And then likewise with Ken, you know, and then you came in with a different perspective, like, yo, I know I'm good. I know I'm at a certain level. I can't do it for love. I got to provide for my kids. And that really, when
Exactly.
you sent it back to me, I was like, yo. So yeah, continue. Sorry,
Yeah,
continue.
because no, because I wrote actual verse that matched your you two both of your verses, and I'm like, man, I have to be real with this because um I want of course I do it for like the love of music because I love music, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like but you guys already said it. So I'm like, I want to
Yeah.
say this because I really do. I can't do it for the love. I have to do it for these people. They're my family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's awesome because it's not like it's not like I was taken away from what you two were saying. I feel like it was great perspectives. So the song was an actual full body of like
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and I'm like, yo, this is an awesome song.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, we really. I wish we put out like a visual for this. You know, like there's
Yeah.
so many songs where I wish we did like a visual, like, but at the same time the distance. But
We'll get it in.
it was yeah, we'll get in. I mean, music is timeless, especially those
Yeah.
type of music, because we kind of like our type of like your songs. We don't make like trendy music,
No.
you know, so we could always revisit like an old track and just do a
Mm-hmm.
freak, you know, a
Yeah.
visual for that.
Hey man, I don't want to keep it too long, so I'll let you go on this. Um, what would you say to anybody who's coming up who believes like music is what they're supposed to be doing? Because you've been on you've been low key, you've been on the come up, you've got to a certain point where like you're a household name. You've helped people like me come up or like start at least who are still coming up, and you're always you got you got the following, the resources, and you're still so humble to help people. So whether you think so or not, to us back home, you've hit a certain level of success. You know what I'm saying?
That's
As an
awesome, bro.
artist out of Hawaii. So what would you say to somebody who's trying to start and chase
um
this dream? Especially because you do it all, dude. You make the beats, you make your visuals, you draw that with your bare hands and a marker, and then you write the song, then you shoot the video. I know what that's like, because I used to do that too. And then you
yeah,
put it
yeah,
out, and then you promote, and you do it for other people. Like, jeez,
dude, like
you're like a
I just
walking
want to say
iPhone. You do everything.
it's the first time I've said that. I'm gonna use that,
I've never, yeah, they just like you got all these apps. You do everything.
bro. Nah, man, that's funny, dude. Like, nah, I just want to say, like, bro, if you feel it in you, like, you could say, because there's people that could rap but don't feel it in them.
Yeah.
Like I've heard like multiple interviews where they say, yeah, I can rap, but it's not for me. Yo, if you feel it in you, whether it be rap, art, like, just because you don't have the resources at that point, there's always time for you to figure out a way to get to those resources. So like it's I'm telling you this from experience. Like, not everything came in time for me. So whether it be my skills with art, rap, you know, like beats, um, everything came like in progression. Like, everything was so slow. Like, honestly, I'm still building, and I'm 32 years old, you know, and I'm just blessed to still be healthy and physically fit for whatever I can do. But I just want to tell whoever's coming up, like, if you feel it in you, if you really feel like, oh, I got something, please don't take it. Don't take that as something. Don't take it as like a little notion. Like some people, they just feel it and like they think like, that was just a little hype. No, dude, please take that and run with it. Like take it and continue. But don't think it's gonna happen overnight. Don't think you're gonna get better overnight or in a week or in a year. Just keep doing it, and you'll see. You'll see in time that you are at a space where you feel like you're you could keep doing this for your life. For me, music, art, is part of my life now. Whether I get to like a certain like peak where I'm rich because of my music, it doesn't matter. It's part of my life, and I just want you guys to feel that and consistently build that. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. And that cycles back to everything we've been saying about just not stopping. If you have
Just
that,
don't stop, bro.
yeah, if you have that fire, you gotta fan it because no one else is gonna do it for you.
And
But
that's one thing I want to say to you too, bro. Like, um, I love that how you still you 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 kept going, whether it was I remember you took a little break. You didn't
yeah,
really drop anything for a little bit, but then you came back even better. I'm like, okay, that's where he was writing all the whole time. But please don't stop, like whatever
likewise,
you
bro.
do. And at the same time, don't don't ever be ashamed of your faith, because I love to see that, man. Like I love to see how you show your faith, because um it's it's true. Like we didn't get this on our own. Like we got this fire from up there.
Hmm.
Like, and all I'm saying is that you take that fire and you just keep going, man. Like you keep burning it for others. And that's what I see with you. And I hope that you keep doing this, your podcast, your music. I hope to see more of you. And I don't know if you're in iTunes or Apple Music and all that, but you will be now
Eventually.
because of my album.
Nice,
Your name will be all over in music outlets because of this album, and
nice.
I hope to
Thank
see
you, man.
more of you like that, bro.
Yeah, like I just wanted to say like going back to my verse, like I do this because I legitimately love it. If I hit a certain point with it, cool. But I have peace whether or not 200 people or 20 people here. I just when I feel like God's telling me to say something and He has to speak through me, I gotta get it out. I'll just put it on a beat, you know. But
Yep.
like whatever, I always and this is on record. I'll say it over and over again. When it comes, of course, in life, just because of other conversations we had, but especially in music and in terms of starting to make my own music and record my own music, whatever amount of success I ever reach, you are responsible for a percentage of that, dude. Like you, for real,
Hey,
man. Like
man.
for
Thank
people
you.
who don't know listening, like if you've ever reacted or commented to one of my songs and you thought it was dope and you shared it, which I appreciate, this guy right here, Franz
Nah.
Urbana, moms, has helped me so
Hey,
much,
thank
man.
you.
Like so graciously, never expecting anything in return. Just some hungry kid, always bombing him, nonstop messaging him, and like
That's all
yeah.
you, bro. That's all. Nah, don't listen to him. He lied. This guy is a beast, like by himself. That's it. Nah, but
Thank you,
thank
man.
you, man. You always been humble. Different. We're like not near each other right now, but at the same time, we always connect.
For sure.
Um, and the music, just please keep making it.
Likewise,
Please,
bro.
yeah, like spreading the good word.
Yeah.
Just being you, just reciprocating the good energy of God and everything. Please do that.
Thank you, man. Likewise, yeah. I like I told Ken, like man, I don't care if you put on one song a year, just don't stop because you have a talent, you have a voice, you got something to say. Whenever it's out,
Yep.
it's always dope, and there's always substance to it. I don't care if you put on one mixtape every 5 years or one remix every few months. Just keep doing it. Like
Just keep.
same
Yep.
goes for you, man. So before I let you go, just let everybody know what you got coming out in terms of projects, music. Yeah, I know you guys run Faek, that clothing brand, and your
Yep.
homies got. So just let everybody know, and I'll put all your links in the bottom. Just let everybody know what you got coming up.
I don't know when this is gonna be out, but I have an album coming out. It's called The Realest Tape. It's gonna be in all music outlets, September 24th. Um, it's probably my masterpiece. You know, it depicts a time of me and my friend's life where it was just all trouble. Like we ran through like a lot of like just drama. But at the same time, we kept it together, and at the end, we were still together. You know, I hope you guys get that. It's on all music outlets. Faek is our clothing brand. This is our Kobe
I need one
Bing
of
Real
those.
shirt. Yeah, bro. We don't make any profit from this. Every the whole proceed goes to the Mamba Mentality donation fund. It
Nice.
supports the family that had to face that tragedy that day. So we don't make any money from this. So if you could go on our website, fakebrand.com, I believe we still have some. If not, it might be sold out. But we always come up with new stuff. One of the most dopest and consistent street brands in Hawaii, and we're proud of that.
For sure. I'll
And
put
at
all
the
the
same
links in the
time,
bottom, bro.
yeah, just follow me. I'm a real cool guy in person and online. I try to be funny sometimes, but yeah,
Hey,
thank
man.
you, man.
Thank
Thank
you
you
guys
for
for
having me.
listening. This is not the last time you're gonna see this dude on here. Bombs, on a personal level, bro. I love you, bro. I appreciate you for everything you've
Love
ever
you,
done.
man. I love you. Thank
Thank you for
you.
doing this. And I'll see you again. You have a good night, man. Easy.
You too.
Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Stay blessed. God bless.
You too.